Have you ever really thought about what it takes to get food on your plate? I mean, way beyond the farm. There's this whole world of incredible science and dedication happening behind the scenes. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and spend a day in the life of an agricultural scientist.
So, when you picture a scientist, what comes to mind? Probably a white lab coat, right? Bakers and stuff. Well, let's just toss that image out the window for a second. For this kind of scientist, the lab is literally acres of open land. And the work, well, it's this amazing mix of discipline, data, and a real human connection.
You see, her day starts long before the sun even thinks about coming up. And it's not just about being an early bird. No, it's about setting a very specific mindset of discipline and focus from the absolute first moment she's awake.
Yep, 5 a.m. That's not a typo. This is where that commitment really begins. While most of us are still hitting the snooze button, her day is already kicking into gear, and it's all driven by this really clear sense of purpose.
This right here is the foundation of her entire day. Living on her own, our scientist kicks things off with some light yoga, a cup of tea, and then she meticulously plans out the day. It's so much more than a routine, It's a ritual. And this personal discipline, this is the bedrock for all the professional rigor that's about to come.
Okay, so from that quiet, personal time, she shifts gears. It's time for an intellectual warm-up. Because the real scientific work, that starts way before she ever steps a foot outside.
After a quick, simple breakfast, her focus completely shifts. The personal well-being part is done. Now it's all about the intellectual challenges waiting for her. Because for a scientist, the most important tool isn't in a bag. It's her mind, and it needs to be sharpened every single day.
So what does that sharpening actually look like? Well, she's deep in it. She's poring over her own field notes, she's analyzing the latest research papers from other scientists, and she's really zeroing in on the big stuff: crop health, soil management. She's basically gaming out the day's problems before she even gets there.
And once that mental prep is locked in, at 8:30 on the dot, the journey to the field begins. This is that moment of transition, right? Leaving the quiet, controlled space of her home and heading out into the dynamic, kind of unpredictable world where her work really, truly comes alive.
And this is the main event. We're in the field. This is where all that morning prep gets put to the test. It's where theory crashes right into the hard facts of reality.
Her office hours, well, they're basically 9 to 5, but they're dictated by the sun, not a clock on the wall. And believe me, this is no desk job. It's a full 8-hour day completely immersed in the very environment she's trying to understand, doing hands-on science out under the open sky.
Now, the workout year looks peaceful, but it is incredibly methodical. She's following a super strict protocol every day. It's like this constant loop. First, she's running experiments, maybe testing a new wheat strain to see if it can fight off a fungus. Then comes the critical data collection. Every single measurement matters. She'll even analyze some samples right there on site to get immediate feedback. And finally, she records every single observation with painstaking detail. It's not just a checklist. Every step is a crucial piece of a much bigger scientific puzzle.
But her work isn't just about plants and soil and data. There is this huge human element to it all. And this is where we get to see the scientist as a kind of ambassador, bridging that gap between pure science and the actual people who feed our communities.
And this, right here, this is the central challenge of her job. In a lab, you have controlled variables. You've got published research. But on a farm, you have totally unpredictable weather, and you have generations of knowledge passed down from farmer to farmer. Her job is to live in both of these worlds at once, to translate the precise language of science into the messy reality of farming.
Really, her entire role can be boiled down to this one powerful idea: offering scientific advice on sustainable agricultural practices. She's the translator. She's the advisor. She is that essential link who takes a breakthrough from a lab and turns it into practical advice that might save a farmer's crop. She's making sure science actually makes a difference out here on the ground.
So, the sun's going down, the field work is done. You'd think the day is over, right? Not even close. For a truly dedicated scientist, the work just changes shape. Now we're entering the evening phase, the cycle of analysis and reflection, where everything she saw today gets processed.
So she gets home, and boom, phase 2 of the day begins. Leaving the field isn't the end of her workday. It's a super important shift from collecting data to actually making sense of it, and of course getting ready for what's next. Her evening analysis is just as structured as her morning ritual. She meticulously updates her research journal, making sure not a single observation gets lost.
Then she dives into new scientific articles, always staying on the cutting edge of her field. And then, most importantly, she takes time to reflect on the day and starts prepping for tomorrow. It's this continuous, unbroken cycle of asking questions and seeking answers.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important step of her day: reflection. This isn't just daydreaming. This is the scientific method playing out in real time. It's the art of looking at all the data from today and using it to figure out the right questions to ask tomorrow.
So we've just walked through one single incredibly demanding day. It kind of makes you think, doesn't it? So I'll just leave you with this question. If one day of this kind of disciplined, focused work can hold so much, what could a whole lifetime of that dedication mean for the future of our food and for all of us?